Good afternoon, everyone. It's TractorMan44. I know a lot of y'all try to be as self-sufficient as possible. I'm no different. I try to do everything I can to not have to be dependent upon paying people to do things for me. Some people call that being a cheapskate. Personally, it's just the way I am. We were brought up, without having anything, and had to do without if we couldn't build it or kill it or grow it ourselves. You know what I mean? But that's in the past. Ain't no big deal. But it's just how you grow up and what you believe. Some people think, oh, you got a good job, make good money, just pay people to do everything for you. I don't care if I was a millionaire. I ain't gonna pay nobody to do anything that I've got the ability to figure out myself. That's just something in you that's just the way it is. Consequently, I don't know if y'all watch much of my channel at all, but I end up with a bunch of junk around here. Old antique tractors and a couple of old cars and trucks and things like that. Old motorcycles, because I just like that old stuff. And so I'm always looking for ways to improve my ability of working on those things. A lot of stuff I don't know anything about, but just kind of dig in and figure it out. We all fiddle around with trying to convert some of these machines, especially the old antique tractors, into a 12-volt system. Get away from the 6-volt. A lot of times even just get away from magneto. You add a distributor, get rid of the magneto if it fails, and go with a 12-volt system. And that's pretty common, pretty standard. The purists that do actually the restoring and everything, and I agree with them. If you're doing a perfect restoration, you do not want to do that kind of stuff. But for myself and many people like myself, we use our old tractors and old machinery, to actually get something done. And so, we really like to convert things and make it convenient and easy for us. So, enter today's story. The internet is a remarkable thing, YouTube especially. It's allowed me to meet people all over the doggone world, from Brazil to the Congo to New Zealand to Australia, a number of places in Europe, and then all across Canada, from Newfoundland to British Columbia, all the way across. And it's really cool, because you kind of get to be friends and everything. I call them my internet buddies, But I got this one buddy. His name is W. Murray. He got interested in one of my videos concerning 12-volt alternators. I think it was a 3-wire alternator. And so that ensued a tremendous conversation. Found out that he was an old General Motors automotive technician and did a lot of work on Delco alternators and starters and the old generators and all that kind of stuff years and years and years ago. And so then up come the story about these old generator alternator repair machines that I picked up for little or nothing. Pretty much identical. One's a little newer than the other. But he's got another buddy that might have some information concerning these. I haven't figured out exactly how to use them all yet. Now I can mount an alternator, I can put the juice to it, and I can check and see that it's got output, but I don't really understand all that I'm reading. And if I had a little more information, maybe Mr. Murray and his friend might give me some tips. It's going to make my life a whole lot easier with keeping these old tractors running. So let's take a look at what I got. Now I know I mistakenly in our discussion I was referred to them as a coreless, but they're Crumbliss, and it's a tester number 1836. Okay, they're both actually the same. This one over here actually has a Napa tag on it. You can see the Napa tag on it right here, and it also it doesn't say Crumbliss on it, but it's a number 1836, which is the same as this one right here. And here's the serial numbers of them down here, 2320 and then 6218. So I'm assuming this is going to be an older one because it looks to me like it's generator only and it's not an alternator. Whereas this one here looks to me like it's got armature, field, and ground connections. So I think that's going to be for the generator testing for the A circuit generators or the B circuit generators. And it's also got the Delcotron plug down here, which will plug into your Delco 3-wire alternator, and it's also got a DT100 probe, and I think that's the probe that you would insert to manually excite one if it's not exciting by external means. That's what I think. I don't know. But at any rate, it's got a built-in motor, and it's got a counterclockwise and clockwise reversing switch, so depending on which way your alternator is going to turn, you can actually reverse it. So the way this essentially works is this cradle right here is where you put the alternator into it, like this right here. And then of course you slip your belt onto it over here on this side, and then you've got to come up with whatever means to attach, and that's where I get a little bit lost. This actually here is a Delco. It says Delco on it, but I'm not sure what the numbers is, and it's got the 2-wire plug down here, and then of course the one wire over here, the battery terminal over here. So I'm assuming that I could attach this Delcotron into there and do the testing from that point. And I might have to have an external power source on this, but I don't know. That's why I'm hoping Mr. Murray, W. Murray, and his buddy can kind of give me an idea. Everything functions on this, and when I've got a working alternator that I know actually works, I can actually see the DC amperage output, and I can actually see it function and work. So at any rate, all I do here, this doesn't fit quite well enough. This is an odd shape when normally the 10SI and a 12SI and all those standard alternator bodies will fit right in here. But you can just hold this here. Now it might make the belt jump off, I don't know. And you push the start switch, and you can see how you can turn it this direction here, or you can flip this switch here, and it'll rotate it the opposite direction. But at any rate, when you do your test button right here, or your alternator button over here, this is the generator test, this is the alternator test, then you can see the DC amperage output. But this one's really pretty sweet, and this one here does not have the Delcotron plugs. It only has the armature, field, and ground, and the A circuit and B circuit generator. Except, what's really weird though, it says over here there's alternator test over here. But I don't understand how to hook that one up for an alternator. So hopefully, between Mr. Murray and his buddy, maybe I'll get a little bit of help. You know, get a new wrinkle in my brain. You know, figure out what I don't know. Well, of course, I'll never figure out what I don't know, because that's a lot. But figure out something to where to maybe make it a little easier for me to understand, and make it easier for me to work on mode equipment. Now, like I say, I've been all over the internet, and I cannot find any information on this machine at all, because I figured you're bound to find some books to download, but I haven't found anything. So the whole point of this video was to kind of give an overview and just a little bit about what I can read on the face of it and what I've done with it, get that information to Mr. Murray, so that he can provide that to his buddy, and maybe that can kind of help them figure out what they need to help a dummy like me figure out what I don't know. And I would like to know if I can do other brand alternators. Can I do, you know, like Japanese alternators? Can I do Ford alternators? Or do they have to be specifically Delco? But at any rate, just things like that. Hope you all enjoyed it. It ain't going to mean a whole lot to too many people unless you mess with your own alternators and stuff on these old tractors. Or maybe you're a hot rodder, you know. Hot rod guys love those Delco 1 wires. They even like the Delco 3-wire alternator, you know, because they're real quick and simple and easy to wire into your electrics and stuff on hot rods. But these old tractors, you ain't got anything, you know, except for a couple of lights, maybe a plow light in the back. You don't have anything at all that uses any juice. So you want to use the littlest output, or like a 50 amp or a 55 amp Delco 1-wire or 3-wire, you know, to make it quick and simple and functional for your old antique tractor. But at any rate, I'm getting off subject again. I just hope this helps them to help me. So for serious, this is TrackMan 44, and I am out of here.